Dr. Dwar. Today we discuss about the topic nervous system. The nervous system is the main coordinating center in the body of all living organisms, either animals or the human being. Before going to study about the nervous system, regarding the nervous system, we see about some technical terms. Stimulus, what is mean stimulus, what is mean response, what is mean coordination, what is mean homeostasis. All we study about that. What is mean stimulus? Stimulus is one of the characteristic features in living organisms. Stimulus also refers to changes in the environmental condition. When the changes occurs in the environmental condition, it detected by receptor organ which is present in the body of an organism, that is called stimulus. The receptor, next that is called response. The receptor organ which is activate or react according to these either the external stimuli or the internal stimuli, that is called the response. Next that is called coordination. Coordination means help us to integrate, coordinate various physiological activity of our body that's involved for the nervous system or coordination. Homeostasis means help us to maintain body in good condition. Help us to maintain body in good conditions. Next we go for this nervous system. Nervous system is made up of a nervous tissue. The nervous tissue consists of three parts: neuron or nerve cell, neuroglia, and third is called nerve fibers. Neuron or nerve cell. Neuron is the structural function unit of all living organs. Neuron is the structural function unit of nervous system, and it is the longest, one of the longest cell. In comparison all other cell, is called this neuron. The length of this neuron 102 microns. They do not divide, but they involve for transmission of nerve impulse and a conduction of nerve impulse from one neuron to this and next neuron. Next is called neuroglia. The neuroglia also is called glial cells. The neuroglia also is called glial cell, and also it is called glial cell, and it is a non-exciting cell. Non-exciting cell, but it is involved for supporting, supplying of nutrient to this nervous tissue, particularly this brain. But they do not involve for conduction of nerve impulse or transmission of nerve impulse. That is called neuroglia. Next is called nerve fiber. The nerve fiber is a slender, elongated, long process. Bundles of nerve fiber to form, that is called this nerve. That is called nerve fiber. Numerous nerve fiber or bundles of nerve fiber to make a nerve. That is called these nerve fibers. Structure of neuron. The structure of neuron consists of three parts: cyton, dendron, and the axon. The cyton also is called cell body. The cell body also is called perikaryon. Structure of neuron consists of three parts: cyton, dendron, axon. The cyton also is called cell body, and also is called perikaryon. The cell body or the cyton, and it consists of numerous branches. That is called dendron. The dendron further divided into minute branches, that is called dendrites. This is cell body. Also is called cyton or perikaryon. The cyton also divided into numerous finger-like projection. That is called this dendron, common branches. That is called dendron. Each dendron further divided into the minute branches, that is called dendrites. Number of dendrons are more in number. They increase the surface area of the cyton. The dendron and dendrites have for conduction of nerve impulse. The dendron and dendrites have for conduction of nerve impulse towards the cyton. The center of the cell body, and it consists of a spherical-like structure that is called the nucleus. The nucleus is surrounded by a granules that is called these results granules. Inside the cyton, the cell body, the cytoplasm that is called is neuroplasm. The neuroplasm and all consists of various cell organs like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, and also endoplasmic reticulum. These are the cell organs present in the neuroplasm. These are the cell organs are present in the neuroplasms. Next, the unbranched, let's call this unbranched process, let's call axon. The unbranched elongated process, let's call axon. The axon is covered by a plasma membrane that is called axolemma. The axon is covered by a plasma membrane that is called axolemma. The cytoplasm of this axon, that is called this axoplasm. The axoplasm is covered by a sheet that is called the myelin sheet. Axoplasm, axon is covered by a plasma membrane that is called axolemma. The cytoplasm of the axon that is called axoplasm, and the axon is covered by a membranous covering. The axolemma is covered by a membranous covering that is called this myelin sheet. In some of the places, the myelin sheet becomes a break, and also a depression, the gap between this, the depression, node of radial, the myelin sheet are absent. The place where this node of radial, the myelin sheet is absent. What is the role of this myelin sheet? Conduction of nerve impulse. Conduction of nerve impulse. Around the myelin sheet only a layer of cells that is called this as Schwann cells. The Schwann cells also covered by a membrane that is called this neurinoma. That is called this what? Neurinoma. In the end of the axon, branches like a root fibers. That is called this terminal end. That is called this what? Terminal end. Next, the connection of nerve impulse takes place. The initial part of this neuron, that is called this dendrites. Dendrites is the initial part. With the help of the dendrites only, the connection of nerve impulse from one neuron to this other neuron, dendrites, dendron, and towards the cell body to the axon, towards the cell body to the axons. Clear? This is the structure of neuron. Types of neuron based on the structure is the presence of axon and a dendron. Further divided into monopolar neuron, bipolar neuron, multipolar neuron. Monopolar neuron means only either axon or dendron. Only one process. Only one process, either presence of axon or dendron. This unipolar neuron, this dendron cell body, only one process are present. Only axon is present. Mostly it is present in embryonic tissue. Not present in adult. Okay. That is called monopolar neuron. Only one process. The only axon is present. In bipolar neuron, two processes. One axon and one dendron. The two processes are present. That is called this bipolar neuron. Mostly it is present in the retina of the eye. Bipolar neurons are mostly present in retina of the eye. That is called this bipolar neuron. Multipolar neuron. Next is called this multipolar neuron. The multipolar neuron, one axon, 3 or more than 4 or 5 dentrons are present. One axon, 3 or 4 dendron or more than 4. Many dendron, 1, 2, 3 here. Either more than 3 also present. That is called multipolar neuron. Mostly it is present in brain, cerebral cortex of the brain. That is called this multipolar neuron. There is only one axons are present. Many dentrons are present. That is called these multipolar neurons. Based on the function, the neurons are classified based on this function. One is called sensory neuron. Next one is called this motor neuron, and third one is called this association neuron. What is meant sensory neuron? The sensory neurons mean they carry the sense from the sense organ, from the sense organ to this central nervous system, spinal cord to this brain. Sensory neuron means carry the sense, carry the impulse from the sense organ from sense organs connected by sensory neuron. The sensory neuron carry the sense or impulse towards the central nervous system, and also it consists of spinal cord and the brain. That's coming to the category that is called sensory neuron. Motor neuron. The motor neuron is located between the spinal cord and the effector organ. The effector organ may be a muscles or glands. What is called motor neuron? The motor neuron which is carry the response where from the brain to the spinal cord to the effector organ. Okay, that is called this motor neuron. Motor neuron from spinal cord to this effector organ. Sensory neuron from sense organ to the spinal cord. The sensory neuron carry the sense impulse from sense organ to the central nervous system in the spinal cord and the brain. Motor neuron from the spinal cord towards the effector organ carry the what? Response from this brain and the spinal cord to the effector organ. That's coming in the category motor neuron. And third one is called this association neuron. The association neuron is located between the sensory neuron and motor neuron. That is called association neuron. Is also called intermediate neuron or relay neuron. What is the role of association neuron? Receive the impulse from sensory neuron and pass the information to the brain. Again, receive the result from the brain, relay the result to the motor neuron to reach this effector organ. That's why it is called association neuron, and also it is called relay neuron, and also it is called intermediate neurons. Types of nerve fibers. Based on this presence of myelin sheath and absence of myelin sheath, the nerve fibers are divided into two different types. One is called myelinated nerve fiber, and one is called this non-myelinated nerve fiber. The myelinated nerve fiber means the axon is covered by the myelin sheath. That is called this myelinated nerve fibers. Axon without myelin sheath, that is called this not covered by myelin sheath, that is called this non-myelinated nerve fibers. Both these myelinated nerve fibers and also the non-myelinated nerve fibers are present in the cerebral cortex of the brain. Cerebral cortex of the brain. Myelinated means what? The axon is covered by the membrane is covering myelin sheath. That is called this myelinated nerve fiber. The axon without myelin sheath is called these non-myelinated nerve fibers. The both are present in this cerebral cortex of the brain. Okay. Next we go for transmission of nerve impulse. The information from this external environment, the stimulus which is coming from this external environment, directed by the receptor organ, which is present in the body of an organism. For example, eye, ear, nose, tongue, like various receptor organ, and directed by receptor organ, and also it consists of dendrites. The stimulus are the electrical external informations, external stimuli, which is directed to the receptor organ in the form of electrical stimulus received by these dendrites, through the dentate to the dendron, dendron to towards the cell body to the axon. When this nerve impulse reaches this terminal end of this axon, when the nerve impulse reaches this terminal end of this axon, the terminal end of the axon and it consists of a chemical substance that is called neurotransmitter. That is called acetylcholine, which is released. When the nerve impulse reaches this terminal end of the axon, and the terminal end of the axon and also consists of numerous synaptic vesicles are present. From the synaptic vesicle, they release a chemical substance that is called neurotransmitter, that is called acetylcholine. Due to this releasing of acetylcholine received by this dendron, which is present in the neighboring neuron of the posterior synaptic membrane of the dendron, receptors are present. The receptors receive the acetylcholine, which is the conduction of nerve impulse from one neuron to this dendron of another neuron. In this way, the nerve impulse are transmitted from one neuron to this another neuron through the synapse. What is called synapse? Terminal end of this dendrites of the terminal end of the axon. This is the terminal end of the axon. The terminal end of the axon connect with the dendrites of neighboring neurons. Dendrites of the neighboring neurons. This is the terminal end of the axon. The terminal end of the axon connect with these dendron of this neighboring neuron to form a junction that is called synapse. Through the synapse only the nerve impulses are transmitted from one neuron to the other neuron, which is it is transferred to the spinal cord to the brain. From the result of the brain, we know about the different, we get the result of this impulse. In this way, the nerve impulses are transmitted. The flow of nerve impulse from axon of this one neuron and also the dendrites of this another neuron, that is called nerve impulse transmission. Nerve impulse transmission means the flow of nerve impulse, the axon of this one neuron, and also dendron of this neighboring neuron. Through this only the nerve impulses are transmitted. It is called transmission of nerve impulse. In this way, the nerve impulses are transmitted from receptor organ to this central nervous system, brain and spinal cord. Again, reach these effector organs. Human nervous system. The human nervous system is divided into three different parts: division, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, autonomic nervous system. Central nervous system again was divided into brain and spinal cord. Peripheral nervous system and also it consists of cranial nerve, spinal nerve. Cranial nerve means the nerves which arise from this brain. That is called this part cranial nerves. There are totally 12 pairs of cranial nerves. The nerve next to was spinal nerves, the nerve which is arise from the spinal cord, that is called the spinal nerves. There are totally 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Next is called autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system consists of sympathetic nervous system and also the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic autonomic nervous system also is called visceral nervous system. Again, it is for the to sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system opposite function or antagonistic function. For example, sympathetic nervous system dilation of pupil, expansion of pupil. Parasympathetic nervous system contraction of pupil. Sympathetic nervous system increase salivation, inhibit salivation, increase blood. Sympathetic nervous system increase blood pressure, decrease blood pressure. Sympathetic nervous system expansion of relaxation of bronchi, trachea, air, construction of trachea, bronchi, expansion of blood vessel and contraction of blood vessel. Both are opposite functions. And also it is called antagonistic functions. Next we go for human brain. The human brains further divided into three different parts: forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain. The forebrain consists of prosencephalon, midbrain mesencephalon, the hindbrain is called rhombencephalon. This is about one by one. The forebrain and also consists of optic lobe, cerebellum, diencephalon. Optic lobe, the forebrain, this optic lobe, the optic lobe also consists of medapoc and optic epithelium. Epithelial cell. What type of cell? Olfactory epithelium. What type of epithelium? Olfactory. Next we go for the division of the human brain. The human brain divisible into three divisions. Consists of forebrain, also is called prosencephalon, midbrain, also is called mesencephalon. Third is called hindbrain, it is called rhombencephalon. Forebrain, prosencephalon, for the divided into olfactory lobe, cerebellum, diencephalon. Olfactory lobe, the function of the olfactory lobe, olfactory function, smell, and also consists of olfactory epithelium. Olfactory epithelium, the depth of this olfactory epithelium The main function of the olfactory lobe, sense of smell. Next is called cerebrum. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. And 2/3 of this brain is occupied by this cerebrum. The cerebrum is divided into longitudinally, vertically, divided into two parts. It is called cerebrum. The cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. 2/3 of the brain is occupied by the cerebrum. The cerebrum longitudinally divided into two halves. Let's call this right cerebral hemisphere, and also another is called this left cerebral hemisphere. The right and left cerebral hemisphere united by a base of nervous tissue that is called corpus callosum. The cerebrum also the outermost part of the cerebrum that is called cerebral cortex. It is grey in color and is known as the grey matter. The center of the cerebrum that is called cerebral medulla. So white in color and it is the white matter. Most of the functional area takes place only the cerebral cortex. The intelligence of the person is completely depend upon the number of holdings and also furrow. On outer surface of the cerebrum, the ridges, let's call this gyri. The furrow, let's call this sulci. Let's call this what? Sulci. The ridges, the intelligence of the person is completely depend upon the number of ridges and also furrows and deep furrows and also the number of nerve fibers. If ridges and furrow are more in number, nerve fibers are more in number in cerebral cortex, is a highly intelligent. The intelligence is not based on size of the brain and also the size of the body. So depend upon these sulci, gyri and also numerous nerve fibers which is present in the cerebral cortex. The cerebrum, based on the functional point of view, the cerebrum is divided into 4 different lobes: frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe. The frontal lobe, mostly all the physiological function takes place in the frontal lobe. Just behind the anterior frontal, it is called parietal lobe, and it is responsible for general cutaneous sensation, touch, smell, and know about these different languages. And behind the frontal, the posterior, that is called this occipital lobe. The main function of this occipital lobe, the visual function. Behind the front of the frontal, just below the frontal, that is called temporal lobe. It's auditory functions. The cerebrum also responsible for memory, imagination, thinking power, will power. Most of the functional area takes place only in this cerebral cortex. That is called this cerebrum. Next to this, that is called this diencephalon. The median portion of this forebrain, that is called this diencephalon. The diencephalon consists of thalamus and also the hypothalamus. Diencephalon was divided into thalamus and also the hypothalamus. The thalamus, this is a thalamus, the anterior, this is a diencephalon. The diencephalon, the anterior of the diencephalon, that is called this thalamus. The floor of the diencephalon, that is called this hypothalamus. Dorsal side of the dine or group of the diencephalon, thalamus. The floor of the diencephalon, that is called this hypothalamus. The main function of the thalamus, most of the sensory and motor signals pass through the thalamus to this cerebral cortex. The thalamus, which is act as a relay center. Thalamus, which is act as a relay center. Why it is called relay center? Both the sensory impulse and also motor signaling pass through the thalamus to this cerebral cortex. Floor of the diencephalon, it is called hypothalamus. The hypothalamus acts as a center between nervous system and also the endocrine system. Nervous system and also the endocrine system. The hypothalamus, which is responsible for control of most of the master gland, for example, for pituitary gland. In the hypothalamus only a fun-like structure that is called impeticulum. This impeticulum only the hypophysis, that is called this pituitary gland, which is attached. The pituitary gland is controlled by hypothalamus. The hypothalamus also, which is responsible for fear, hunger, and also sexual behavior. These all the activities controlled by hypothalamus and also act as a thermoregulatory center. Why it is called thermoregulatory center? Means supposed to maintain body temperature. That's why the hypothalamus acts as a thermoregulatory center. Spherical bodies, that is called this a corpora quadrigemina. This is a diaphragm, thalamus, hypothalamus. Here epipendiculum, here only the pituitary glands are attached. Here four hemispherical bodies, that is called this corpora quadrigemina, and also it is consists of colliculi, and it consists of superior colliculi, a pair of superior colliculi. The colliculi also is called nuclei. Colliculi also is called nuclei. The superior colliculi, the main function of the superior colliculi is called this control head and eye movement. Control head and eye movement. The inferior colliculi is called hearing. That is called this what? Hearing. Clear? The four hemispherical bodies are collectively that is called corpora quadrigemina. Corpora quadrigemina. The corpora quadrigemina consists of a pair of superior colliculi or nuclei. Its main function of the superior colliculi are nuclei, head and eye movement. The inferior colliculi main function for hearings. Next is called this hindbrain. The hindbrain consists of cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata. Cerebellum. The cerebellum is the largest second part of the brain. That is called this cerebellum. The cerebellum also consists of two hemispheres. Cerebellum also consists of two hemispheres. The middle part of the cerebellum, that is called vermis. The projection, enlarged projection, that is called vermis. Yeah, the vermis anterior, the vermis posterior. How identify this vermis anterior, vermis posterior being? The fissure is slight in this anterior. The fissure is deep in this posterior. The main function of this cerebellum is supposed to maintain body balance. Equilibriums. Maintain both sides of the body balance. It is called this cerebellums. That is called this what? Cerebellums. Next is called this pons. Here is the pons. Pons is act as a bridge between this cerebellum and other part of the brain. Cerebral cortex, cerebral medulla, and membrane. That's why it acts as a pons, which is act as a bridge. The numerous nerve fibers are descending and ascending through these pons. Pons also which is responsible for circulation and also respiration. The next is called this medulla oblongata. Most inferior part of the brain stem is called this medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata, the main function of this medulla oblongata, which is responsible for vomiting, coughing, sneezing, and also control of heartbeat. Control of heartbeat, contraction of blood vessel, mostly all the function is carried by this medulla oblongata. The continuation of the medulla oblongata is called the spinal cord. Next we go for the structure of the spinal cord. Continuation of the medulla oblongata. Continuation of the medulla oblongata, that is called spinal cord. The spinal cord emerges away from this foramen magnum, the posterior of the skull. The opening is called this foramen magnum. Through this foramen magnum way, the exterior how smoke cylindrical, elongated cylindrical process is called this spinal cords. Same like brain, the spinal cord is covered by three membranous covering: outer dura mater, middle arachnoid mater, innermost is called this pia mater. The spinal cord also consists of two enlargement, cervical enlargement, shoulder arises. Next is called this lumbar enlargement, which is hip arises. The center of the spinal cord is called this neural canal. Center of the spinal cord is called this neural canal. Beyond this lumbar enlargement, the conical extremities, tapering the conical extremities, that is called this conus medullaris. It's called this what? Conus medullaris. Beyond this conus medullaris, numerous nerve fibers are arises in the side It appears like a horse tail. That is called cauda equina. It's called cauda equina. Regarding this conus medullaris, either side, numerous nerve fibers are arises. It appears like a horse tail. That is called cauda equina. Regarding this cauda equina, the non-nervous layer that is called projection, tail-like projection, that is called pilum termini. That is called pilum termini. Next is called reflex action. Reflex action is a spontaneous involuntary action brought about by this sensory stimuli. The root of this reflex action is called sense organ, sensory neuron, or also is called apparent neuron, which is carrying the sense towards the spinal cord. Then intermediate neuron, also is called relay neuron, and also is called association neuron. Then from spinal cord to this effector organ, it is called motor neuron or effector neuron. Last is called these effector organs. The conduction of nerve impulse carried by sensory neuron towards the spinal cord. The sense impulse received by association neuron. The association neuron transfer the impulse to this brain. From the brain, receive the result. Same association neuron relay through this motor neuron to reach these effector organs. The effector organs may be glands or muscles. In this way, the conduction of nerve impulse takes place in our body from one neuron to this other neuron. At the same time, the reflex action also divided into two types. One is called simple reflex, also is called basic reflex. The simple reflex means unlearned reflex, occurs our day-to-day activities, and also it occurs without our thinking. For example, coughing, sneezing, yawning. These all are coming in the category of simple reflex. Acquired reflex, and also is called conditional reflex. The acquired reflex or conditional reflex occurs based on our learning. That is called these conditional reflex or acquired reflex. For example, playing of harmonium. When we are playing harmonium, striking this particular key, or seeing of music note, this all occurs without our thinking, without our control. It occurs automatically by the put of the receptor organs. It is coming in the category of acquired or what conditional reflex. Next we see about the cerebrospinal fluid, that is called CSF. The middle portion of the brain consists of a group of cells that is called choroid plexus. The choroid plexus only secrete a clear watery fluid similar like a plasma, that is called a cerebrospinal fluid. The cerebrospinal fluid is completely protect central nervous system, brain inside the central nervous system, brain and the spinal cord, and also the outer surface of the central nervous system, brain and spinal cord completely protected by cerebrospinal fluid. Second from a group of cells that is called choroid plexus. The rate of secretion of cerebrospinal fluid is called 500 ml. The volume of cerebrospinal fluid is called 150 ml. The functions of CSF: cushion the brain against mechanical shock. Cushion the brain against mechanical shock when the head moves. Mechanical shock when the head moves. And also it acts as a protecting covering for central nervous system, brain and the spinal cord. Buoyancy of brain. Buoyancy of brain means floating. The brain are floating this what? CSF. To the complete protection. Damage, not from damage. The CSF is act as a reservoir storage of hormones and also the nutrient to this brain and also the spinal cord. CSF is act as a mechanical buffer. How it is act as a mechanical buffer? Buffer means it helps to maintain intracranial, it helps to maintain the cranial pressure. When the intracranial pressure tend to rise, more CSF is pressure out. When the intracranial pressure tend to fall low, more CSF is retained. So act as a mechanical buffer inside and outside of the central nervous system. It is called CSF. CSF is a clear watery fluid, similar like a plasma. You set up from a group of cells that is called choroid plexus. The rate of secretion is 500 ml. The volume is 150 ml. The main function of this CSF, cushion the brain against the mechanical shock when the air moves. It acts as a protective covering to the central nervous system and also biopsy to the brain, biopsy protein on the brain. It acts as a reservoir, which is act as a reservoir. CSF is act as a reservoir means storage of hormones and also nutrients to these brain and the spinal cord. So act as a mechanical buffer. And the intracranial pressure tend to rise, more CSF is pressure out. And the intracranial pressure inside the cranium pressure is low, more CSF is retained. Next we go for meninges of the brain. The brain is covered by three membranous covering. Outermost thick fibrous covering that is called dura mater, give the complete protection to the brain. The middle is called arachnoid mater, it is vascularized and like a spider web-like structure that is called dura mater. Below this dura, that is called arachnoid mater. Below this arachnoid, the space that is called subarachnoid space. The innermost and highly dense packed blood vessels that is called this pyometer. That is called this what? Pyometer. Outer thick dura, middle thin vascular, that is called arachnoid mater, which is a spider web-like structures, and the last innermost densely packed by blood vessel that is called this pyometer. These three membranes collectively is called meninges. Three membranes collectively is called meninges. The inflammation of this membrane, either due to the bacterial infection or viral infection or fungal infection, that is called meningitis. Inflammation of this brain membrane, dura mater, arachnoid mater, and the pyometer, either due to this bacterial infection or viral infection or either fungal infection, the inflammation of the membrane is called this, and this is called infection is called meningitis.